Signore e signori,
dichiaro aperti i 9 Giochi Paralimpici invernali.
Si sta avvicinando allo stadio.
Forza, forza! Vai, 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 vai! Dal record della pista! Record della pista! Prima!
Buongiorno and welcome to Keep the Flame Alive's Day 3 coverage of the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Paralympic Games. I am your host, Jill Jarris, coming to you from the TKFLASTANI house in Venezia Mestre, joined as always by my lovely co-host, Alison Brown. Alison, ciao, como stai?
You know, I'm wondering if people don't understand what Venezia Mestre is when you say that.
Oh, well, we're in Venice, but we're not on the island that you think of when you think of Venice. We are off the island by the main train station, basically.
By the Mestre station.
Yes. So
yes.
That is what we talk of when we talk of Venezia, because now we have to be like hip and cool.
And sound
say,
Italian.
Yes, exactly.
It's Milano. It's Venezia.
Whoa, oh.
Don't even start with the song that we don't hear except when the volunteers sing it for us. I ran into one of our volunteers from the train yesterday, from the bus yesterday on the train today.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, hi. And he sort of looked at me. I was like, you were on the bus with us yesterday. He was like, oh. He had no clue. He didn't remember me, but I remembered him and his singing.
And he did not sing on the train, I'm guessing.
He did not sing on the train.
All right.
It would have made the train ride more fun, though, if he had.
I'm sure it would have. Although the train ride's not bad.
No, it was
It's
very
really
pleasant. Best part of my day.
Oh boy. Oh, there we go. I did forget something yesterday.
Yes.
I forgot the massive story about my hand sanitizer getting confiscated.
You were so upset about this, and I think fairly so, because number one, you have carried this hand sanitizer every day. Mm-hmm. Since we've been here, both Olympics and Paralympics. It has never gotten taken away from you. We have been to this venue now multiple times.
Yes.
Have never taken your hand sanitizer away. We both went through security. My hand sanitizer not touched. Yours confiscated.
Yes, because they asked, and I happened to have chosen that moment to be honest. Do you have any hand sanitizer or a lighter or hand sanitizer? And I said, well, I have hand sanitizer in my pocket. And the hand sanitizer needs to stay in my pocket at all times because this place is gross. Okay? All places are gross. Because I like to eat. Anytime I get a chance to snack, I do. And I need the hand sanitizer so I don't have to go find a bathroom with likely freezing cold water to wash my hands. And so they said, no, I had to confiscate the hand sanitizer. And I'm like, why? And they said, it's flammable. And I was angry. I do have a little bit of a temper. Angry. And I threw the hand sanitizer in their little bucket and it bounced out.
I saw that. And I said, this is not ending well. I'm going to stay out of it.
And I said, I will come back for it at the end. Can I get it at the end? And they did not believe I would come back for it. But at the end of the session, you better believe.
You went back for that hand sanitizer.
I ignored all happy volunteers with pointy fingers, foam fingers pointing me toward an exit.
Who are getting a little unhappy with you because you weren't listening to them.
Yeah. Did not care. And I went back and I said, can I have my hand sanitizer? And they knew who I was and they knew where that hand sanitizer was. And they reached into that bucket and gave it right back to me.
Now, you returned to this venue again today.
I did.
Did they once again confiscate your hand sanitizer?
Well, we'll get to that because after I had a little snit about my hand sanitizer being taken, the guy who wanted me apologized, and he's like, the rules are changing like every 15 minutes. It's crazy. So, of course not. They did not ask if I had hand sanitizer today.
They learned their lesson not to mess with you.
Well, nobody was asking, and they're all like, they get the attitude every once in a while. Because if I can't open my pockets of my backpack fast enough, they're like, open the back. Okay, fine. What they forget, sometimes they have me open the top front pocket, What they don't realize or even see on this massive Beijing 22 backpack, which is still one of the best things we got in Beijing.
Absolutely.
There is a front pocket.
Yes.
That is below. And that is one of the reasons why I keep the little front thing on. So the Beijing backpack it's black, but it has this blue thing on front of it that's kind of hooked on, and you could probably shove a jacket in there or something that won't fall out, because it's just made to expand a little bit. I have kept it on A to know that it's my backpack, because everyone takes them off, and B, it covers up a pocket. Then that pocket tends to open on its own, but it covers a pocket. What they also don't seem to want to check are these side pockets that I put massive amounts of beverages in.
Yes, and also they don't go deep.
No.
They just sort of look in, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to put the gun at the top of the bag.
Right? You're not putting a gun in because you don't have a gun.
Well, yes, but I'm just saying the weapon of choice, whatever that would be, I wouldn't put it at the top. So the way the bag searching is done is so useless.
Right. Because because we're journalists, I think that's part of it, is that it's now we're just doing it for show. When you don't have an X-ray, right? Because we don't have many venues anymore that have X-rays. It's all hand check.
Right.
And today I did bring in a liter bottle of water because I really needed more water in the mountains. And I did pack all of my food was at the bottom of the front pouch. I put my hat over my water bottle so it was masked, and nobody cared. You know who got screwed? The person who brought the full-size bottle of perfume to the curling venue. Like, who is bringing perfume to the curling venue?
I guess they really think those stones stink. Is it Stinky Stone Day at the curling venue?
But you see,
curling cologne.
You know, they'll confiscate beverages, and then I'm like, well, you never check my beverage pockets. Like, you use a backpack or some kind of thing. I'm assuming you know that the sides are for beverages. How could you not know that I have 4 bottles of things in my backpack at any given time?
Yeah, and sometimes they feel the bottom. And I'm thinking to myself, what are you trying to feel? Because it's just going to feel mushy with all my various and sundry pouches in there.
Right? I don't get it. This is not crack security.
No.
So it was a very frustrating afternoon, but I felt really good about getting my hand sanitizer back in my pocket where it belongs, not asked about today at all.
And now you know. Hand sanitizer is verboten.
Well, I just don't own it anymore.
Yeah, it's just gone. I don't know what happened to it. It's with the bottle of perfume that I know you've been stashing in your backpack all week.
If I had a bottle of perfume, my pants would smell better, okay?
You know what I really want? I really want a bottle of that Chalet perfume.
Yeah, right. Dior, say no more. I don't know. We do have some follow-up files. We talked about when we said shout out to listener Erica, who has an Olympic crafting festival with her friends. How did that go? And she posted in the Facebook group pictures of the blanket she was working on. And then her cat obviously knew when the cauldron was put out because the cat
has sat on the blanket so that she can no longer continue to make the blanket. Unless the cat moves, and the cat has said, "You did not finish on time. I find this very disheartening."
That was really good. We had also talked yesterday about the Italian snowboarder Emanuele Parathoner, who was an Olympian and became a Paralympian because he has a knee replacement, but his knee is now locked between 35 and 40 degrees. He can't bend it any further. So.
Yes, I made kind of an offhand comment that he has a bionic knee like Lindsey Vonn, and people in the Facebook group wondered, oh, does that mean Lindsey Vonn could be a Paralympian? No, because it has to do with your level of disability. They may have had similar surgeries, but the outcomes or the injuries that they suffered were not similar. So that was my fault for making it confusing to people. So no, Lindsey Vonn does not have any kind of disability that would qualify her as a Paralympian that we know of at this point.
And also, if you were not in the Facebook group, we did post a picture of the podium people, and the pants that look brown and blue in the sunlight. And there's a nice little conversation going on there as well. So be sure to get in on that. Also, what you can get in on is understanding. It's been a rough day. I struggled today. That the show is independently produced, and there are just two of us trying to do all of the things, and it gets very hard. But we do it because we want to bring you what it is like to be at the games for regular people, not people with NBC money, not Snoop Dogg, not Martha
not even
Stewart.
Stanley Tucci.
No. I was going to say we're more like Stanley Tucci. And then I realized that was going to sound bad.
You're going to need hand sanitizer for that. Do I need to send you back to the train station, young lady?
Yeah, probably. Anyway, but putting this show on from Italy does cost money. And we'd like to ask for your help in making sure our flame can continue. If you have enjoyed our coverage or not, we'd like you to consider. Jeez, how can you ask for money at a time like this? I don't know, but we could use some because we might have train tickets to buy. Go to flamelifepod.com
and help us because clearly we need the help.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Flamelifepod.com. There's a little pop-up that comes up, and if you don't see that, if you're listening later, we'll still take your help because we got to get to LA 28
and we got to get home.
And we have to get home. There's a little support button up top. flamelifepod.com. Thank you to everybody who has kept our flame alive going on so far and have gotten us here. We couldn't be in this state without you. All right. Well, we've got some results.
Yes, but you have an adventure to tell me about first. So
Yes.
you went to the mountain today. I went to Milan.
Yes,
So this is the
yes,
first
I
day
know.
that we've separated in that sense. Every other
Yes.
day we've gone to the mountain together, at least to start.
Yes.
But now we went to separate cities.
Yes.
So I will get to talking about my trip to Milan when we get to para ice hockey.
Yes.
So let's talk about your trip to the mountain
Okay.
today.
All right. So
All alone on the bus with Giacomo.
we'll start with,
How late was Giacomo this morning?
well, we'll get to that too.
Oh,
We'll
gosh.
start with the email I sent last night to 2 Games Transport email addresses we have. And maybe I typed one wrong. I didn't look at that today because it got bounced back. Because the problem is we are getting to places late and the transportation's rough. And we're getting there very, very late and seeing less competition than we should be able to. The other problem is if we go to Milan, there's a schedule of trains that happens every day to Milan and back. We are only allowed to go on some of them.
Yes, very few of them, in fact.
And that means you are in Milan for a very short time, which I am very interested in hearing how this went. So I wrote them a letter, an email, and said, hey, what's up with this? Basically, I asked, can the bus driver get on time? I understand that there's traffic, and I understand, I didn't say sometimes we got to stop for gas, because sometimes we do. I figured out today that the one break that we have early on where we just stop and sit there, that must be the driver mandatory break. So Giacomo in the morning, which is what I'm going to call him now, Giacomo in the morning was like 15, 20 minutes late. He was back down. So we did not have to get gas, and we did our break, our mandatory break, fine. We did not barrel through the mountains as fast as we usually do. So he must have been on time, and well, it wasn't on time. Come on, let's go. It felt like we stopped at 2 different places in our litany of stops because we stopped at a train station.
Oh, we've never stopped at a train station.
Okay, thank you. And made another stop there. So I was like, oh, train station, this is new. And picked up people along the way. Fine. And we get to Giacomo loves his pop in the morning. Pop songs. He does not love the morning zoo, because anytime the morning zoo came on, he would change the channel.
He only wants the music.
Only wants music. He would even listen to commercials over morning zoo stuff. That's how much he loves party in the morning.
In this, Giacomo and I are in agreement. I appreciate the lack of morning zoo.
So I don't know if we're starting to recognize each other, because I was happy with my buongiorno because I recognized Giacomo.
Did he have the cigarette hanging out of his
Yes,
mouth?
Of course. What else would you expect? So we get there, and that's fine. And I get off the bus, and we had gotten told the first time we went to the mountains, they told us how to get to Tofane.
Yes.
The mountain. And Para Snowboard was a different place that we went, the same mountain area, and the bus stop was a different place. And I thought I could take that bus stop. And then I was like, no, maybe I should go the way
They told us.
the kind volunteer told us. And that was the right choice.
Excellent.
For many reasons. And I'm already kind of discouraged because Para Alpine got moved up a half an hour
Yes,
today.
it did.
Start time got moved up, which meant by the time I got to Cortina, I missed all 3 women's categories. I missed the men's visually impaired and came in halfway through standing. So not thrilled. I'm already really discouraged about a lot of stuff. Super discouraged now. I don't know if I've made the right transportation choice, because that could mean a long, long walk otherwise. Thankfully, the blood pressure tent was open. And I have a lovely reading.
Oh, good. You got a better
So
reading this time?
I learned a lot about blood pressure in the mountains. So my reading, it was 149/85.
Which was better than it was
A little bit
last
better,
time.
yes. And I was like, oh boy. And then through a little conversation and the magic of Google Translate, found out that your blood pressure is higher at altitude naturally. So they are looking for the top number to be under 150 to 160. So I am under that, and the bottom number can be a couple, like 20 points up too.
Wow.
So
Things you learn.
things I learned, and I think it was the same woman who gave me my blood pressure last time.
She was ready for you.
I don't know if she knew who I was, but I knew who she was, and I knew what was happening. So I did spend a little bit of time getting my blood pressure taken, but that meant I just missed the bus to Tofane.
That's okay.
Of course. This was also, the thing about going the way they told us is that you go through security at curling.
Oh.
So they do the bag check and they do the credential scan at curling, and then you're in the system then, and you get on the bus to Tofane, which came like 10 minutes later, just like the volunteer told us. Short bus, passenger bus, was like 25, 30 people, maybe max
Okay.
packed in there if you needed to pack them in. So that bus can really haul up the mountain. That size. And I will call him Enrico. Enrico knew we were late because we hauled up that mountain, but it wasn't bad because we were not moving as much mass.
Right.
And
So you weren't swinging around.
Yes, and making horrific turns. This could corner.
Now the question is, did you then skip the gondola
Yes. Yes.
and the treacherous hike?
Yes. So we did stop at the Para snowboard part to pick people up, and then whipped around up to the other side of the mountain, and it drops you off right where you need to be.
Okay.
Decent marked signage for press and press tribune. Not tabled. We get seats, and it was basically kind of go sit up there. So you do go up a number of janky staircases.
My
Fine.
favorite.
I found a seat, and then right behind me were a plethora of Dutch people, because there were many Dutch skiers, and they just kept coming, and I just kept moving, and they just kept coming around me, and I could not move more, because also behind me was some American, I don't know who it was, but was somehow involved with the organization, because she was talking about a test event for biathlon that they had here. And they said she had mentioned one of the reasons they test stuff and they try to test it at the same time was they figured out that the setup for parabiathlon that they originally had, visually impaired biathletes, they don't use a laser gun. They use some kind of light gun. And the sun angle was hitting the targets at the same place and was confusing the light from the light gun versus the sun. So that was one of the things they figured out from a test event.
Why you need test events.
Exactly.
101.
So I got there. I got seated. And I was, thrilled that I made it to the mountain.
In one piece.
In one piece. And I got to say, you could see a decent amount of course.
Excellent.
And if you got to sit and pay attention, and they do have a very big screen with everything. Oh, we have a new Oscar.
Oh,
his name is Lorenzo. And I couldn't tell if it was the guy in the booth or if Lorenzo was the guy down around hyping up the crowd, doing the limbo and other sort of things. He was great. But if he wasn't, there was still an Italian guy and everyone, he was jolly. Then we had a British man in-house who was just nonstop. And the DJ was pumping music. I do have the name here. DJ Max Mizzoni, because the announcer was like, "Everybody cheer," and nobody cheered. if you like the music, I liked the music because it was just zzz, 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 all the time.
Thumpa.
Yeah. You were in the club, whatever. It was pumping, and every time a skier started, you got the air horn kind of thing. So you knew to go look, either at the board or you knew somebody was coming down. But they were constant talking. It was high energy. People were excited. The announcer did make fun of a contingent of the Dutch crowd.
Good.
Who came in I think that he called it like boiler uniforms, like boiler.
Oh, boiler suits?
Yeah.
I've seen the orange boiler suits from the Dutch.
Yeah. So there was a contingent of those. There were French people in chicken costumes that were red, white, and blue because that's the
rooster costumes.
There were rooster costumes. There were Mexicans with sombreros. There were lots and lots of contingents. Lots of fun going on. Lots of old people skiing. There were people in 40s and 50s for sure. And he, kind of, I can relate to this because I never know what's coming out of my mouth. But he talked about, form is temporary, class is permanent, and age is just a number. I don't really know what that means, but that's okay.
But he had to share that with us.
Yes, because he was talking about Michael Milton from Australia, who was a 6-time gold medalist, competed at Albertville, still competing in the Paralympics.
Oh, geez.
Yes.
How is he still alive?
I don't know, but it was amazing. I think going to watch downhill skiing is just an excuse to dance and drink, because the Dutch people in front of me all boozing it up. They were having a good old time.
Well, I am glad to hear that.
So a lot of fun. But yeah, the course is kind of interesting because if you look really far up, you can see a little peak of it. And then they kind of curve into the trees and then they peek out again, they curve away, and then they'll eventually come over the ridge. And you see like several curves. And there's a pretty big one for at least the giant slalom course that they had that was pretty tough, and you got a nice little jump too. So it was a tough course, took out a lot of guys. I know you had in here that the women did not have many DNFs.
Yes, but the men, unfortunately,
the men
struggled.
There were getting to be some ruts in the course, and a lot of people were getting caught up in that. So it was nice to be at the mountain, nice to see the mountain. This is the first time we've seen Para Alpine.
Yes.
So that's exciting.
And you didn't get to see Para Alpine at Beijing because you were not going back to that mountain.
I learned my lesson. I distinctly remember you going, "I'm going to the mountain." I said, "Have fun with that."
Exactly. So this was your first shot at Para Alpine.
Yes,
so I'm glad it was a positive experience.
Yes, exactly. So highly recommend. We did have Super G all day today. Women's visually impaired class. Gold went to Chiara Mazzell from Italy. Lots of school kids there. So thrilled. So screaming the national anthem. They were so proud. It was so cute. Also, they had a 15-minute protest time before the victory ceremony. They said, here's the unofficial results. There's going to be 15 minutes that you can protest. I did not know this.
Wow.
Did not have a chance to look into it. But that was an interesting thing. They did not say end of protest time. The victory ceremonies just started. And I have a thing about the victory ceremonies. You know what so they have the little walk 'em in music. They have some kind of grandiose little bit when they actually get their stuff on the podium. And then there's that ethereal music that we thought was somebody singing. Do you think it's that theremin thing that we saw at the opening ceremony?
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that.
I just thought of that today.
I'll have to listen to it again because I will get to hear some. I think I'm going to Alpine tomorrow.
Yes.
I don't remember.
Yes.
Is that where I'm going?
Yes, you're going to Alpine.
So it'll be interesting if I'll pay attention then because I'll hear it and see if I think it's the theremin as well.
The podium is a better setup. It is just one ramp, not a ramp that goes
with
zigzag.
a lip.
Yeah. And I think they just have a little bit more space to deal with there. So, and they were pretty snappy at Alpine.
Oh, thank goodness.
So not as bad as para snowboard. So back to the women's Super G visually impaired. Silver went to Veronica Eigner, or the Eigner family
of the famed Eigners.
Yes, from Austria, and bronze went to Alexandra Rexova from Slovakia.
Yes, we had mentioned that Elizabeth Eigner, one of the many Eigner siblings, who had been a guide previously, was not here this time. It turns out she has a knee injury and was not able to ski, so that Veronica had to get a new guide kind of at the last minute.
Amazing that she can ski that well.
Doing quite well with a gold and a silver so far.
Not bad at all. Moving over to the standing class, a gold went to Russia's Varvara Voronchkina, first Russian gold of the games. First time we had 6 races, 6 different anthems. It was something. I don't know how to think about that still.
I know. Was there any reaction to it?
I couldn't tell. I think where I was standing, a lot of the cheering seemed muted. You could tell that the athletes were excited because there were a good chunk of people along the sideline, and the stands were pretty full. But I'd hear the people right around me and then nothing else because I think the sound was just directed away from me. But I think the athletes heard it, and oh my gosh, the love for some of these athletes was amazing. And everybody was clapping for everybody else. It was a fun time. So that was gold. Silver went to Oriel Richard, which her group all had bibs with her face on it. And some of them were wearing the rooster costumes, a lot of rooster hats. It was lovely. And then a bronze went to Ebba Arjo from Sweden.
I loved this quote from Richard. She said, "I'm living the dream and it's beautiful," when she was talking about her 2 silver medals. I just love that attitude from her.
And in the women's sitting category, gold went to Spain's Audrey Pascual Seco, silver went to Japan's Momoka Murakowa, and bronze went to Liu Xitong from China.
So the Japanese silver medalist is returning from a broken collarbone that she suffered in November. And she said she's not totally healed, but she's skiing anyway. And she managed to do okay coming out with a silver medal.
Wow. On the men's side for visually impaired, gold went to Johannes Eigner from Austria. Silver went to Giacomo Bertagnoli from Italy. And bronze went to Cal Erickson from Canada. So we got a full set alert.
I know. So Giacomo Bertagnoli was saying he has a silver and he has a bronze so far. The only one he's missing is the gold. And that's his goal for tomorrow, is to get that full set, to which I say, Giacomo, we are with you in that.
Bye.
Yeah, absolutely. And he and Agner apparently have quite a rivalry, but it's very friendly. And Agner described it as amusing, which I thought was an interesting word to choose. I hope that's just sort of a language thing, that he called it an amusing rivalry.
In the standing class for the men, which I came in partway through, and part of it was the course was closed for injury somebody had fallen. I don't know what happened to him, but there were several people who were going out near the top of the course. A couple wipeouts at the bottom.
Oh,
and
those are
it's
the
just
worst.
the worst. Like, oh, you just missed the gate. That was tough. The gold went to Robin Kusch from Switzerland. So now he's got a second gold. Big party at Swiss House.
Yeah, they sent us an email yesterday about the first party.
Yes.
So now there's going to be another party.
And the bus went past Swiss House, and boy, does it look nice. It's a nice looking building. So may have to try to stop by if they're open during the afternoon. Silver went to Patrick Hallgren from USA, who was thrilled. Oh my gosh, you could not ham it up anymore on the podium. And bronze went to Jules Seguer from France.
So Hallgren is the first medal for the U.S. in standing Super G in over 20 years.
Whoa.
So he deserves to ham it up as much as possible. And I thought this was interesting. Robin Kusch has been competing since Sochi 2014, but he was a teenager.
Wow.
He's still only 27 years old.
Wow.
And so these two that he's won this time around are the first medals that he's won, despite having been in multiple Paralympics. But he's basically competing as a child.
Wow.
And now he's actually a grown up and really coming into his own.
Wow. And what is amazing to me about these skiers is that they're still going like 60 some kilometers an hour.
Oh yeah, they're not crawling down these
No.
tracks. No.
And the course does look a little tough. So that, I mean, this is good racing. This is really good racing.
That's what we were so frustrated with the simplicity of the snowboard course. These athletes deserve better. So I'm glad to hear that this is a difficult course, because you want the Paralympic course to be challenging.
Right.
You want it to be the best of the best.
And I will say it looks difficult through my eyes. So hopefully it's difficult for the athletes as well. In the sitting class, Jeroen Kampschreuer from Netherlands won gold.
Oh, your Dutch must have been thrilled.
Oh, yeah. We had multiple contingents of Dutch for different racers. And they were all over the place with banners, with massive hats, with tons of stuff, the orange boiler suits. And they were living life. It was really great to see. Jesper Pedersen from Norway, who we've talked about yesterday, he got the silver, and Andrew Kirka from the U.S. got the bronze.
Yes, and he was disqualified yesterday in the downhill for missing a gate. So that was super frustrating for him. So he came back today with this idea that I have to redeem myself. And also, he didn't medal in Beijing after winning 2 medals in Pyeongchang. So this was a big redemption for him. On many levels.
Nice. Hometown hero Rene Di Silvestro from Italy finished 4th. We, on the road up, see posters for him on the houses.
Yes, we saw a bunch of flags with the name Renee painted on it. And I
Yes.
figured it was one of the athletes up here, but it's nice to know who that is.
Yes, exactly. And his contingent had like little hats on, just lots of stuff, but it was really cool. And then we had 7 did not finish, including Kurt Oatway from Canada, who medaled yesterday. So a little frustrating day for him.
Yes.
Now, ice hockey.
So before we get to ice hockey, let's talk about getting
yes.
to ice hockey.
Do tell.
Do tell. So this morning, because of the limited trains, I could not get a train until 11 o'clock in the morning. It's a 2+ hour train ride, which means I don't get there until 1:30. And one game is already over by then, and the second game has already started. So right off the bat, I'm in a hole. So I did go and talk to the games desk at about 8:30 this morning, hoping they were going to tell me, oh, no, I could give you a ticket for one of the earlier trains. No, I cannot give you a ticket for the earlier trains. You have to pay €50 and get it yourself.
Oh.
So 11 o'clock was the earliest train I could take. Took the train. Then I had to find the metro from where the train let me off. At Central, which I had never done before. So that got a little confusing. So I wasted a lot of time doing that.
I know how Central has got like a whole mall underneath.
It's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Grand Central Station. So when you're trying to get from one track to another if you've been to Grand Central Station or your city's equivalent, where the trains come in and where the subways are is not always as apparent, especially not when you have to go to Yamama and Sephora in between. So get on the subway, know what I'm doing at that point. Nice to be back in Milan.
Yeah.
And knowing where I'm going and knowing what's happening. In the 2 weeks since we left, the entire city has blossomed.
Oh.
So there are flowers out. The trees are in bloom. I cannot believe how much it changed in 2 weeks. It's amazing. Get to the subway station where the shuttles are. Get on my shuttle. Everything is going well. They moved the shuttle stop so that it's closer.
Oh.
So there was less walking.
Wait, less walking. Oh, at the stadium?
At the stadium.
Oh.
So it's all the way down that strip.
Oh.
So that whole first section of walking that you had to do, eliminated.
Wow.
Because there's so many fewer people.
Yeah.
So we're going through. My security, quick, simple, boom, boom, off I go. Media Tribune, right where it was supposed to be, sort of. Because they moved what were our not tabled seats.
Oh, okay.
Tabled seats were all taken. I don't know who all these people are, but the tabled seats were all taken. So I had a non-tabled seat. But then they told me I could sit on the TV tables.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, because she said, there's nobody here. You can sit at those tables if you want to. And I said, yes, I want to. Got there at the beginning of the second period of the second game.
I know where this is going because I see the timetable.
At the end, so I got to see the second period and I got to see the third period. And then it was time for me to go.
That is ridiculous.
To catch the last train back.
That we are allowed to be on.
That we are allowed to be on.
Later trains, but we'd have to pay €50 for them.
Yes, each way.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So I got to see 2/3 of a game.
And not today's games were not very good.
Today's games were not good. I saw Slovakia and Czechia, and Czechia won 8-1, and it's as lopsided as it sounds. But it was a lot of fun. There was probably about 1,000 spectators, and they were loud.
Nice.
Very Czechia heavy, but there was a good Slovak contingent. So when they did score a goal, they got to light it up, which was good. Several school groups.
Nice.
Which always make it fun when the kids are there because they just get so excited when anything happens. They don't care who wins. They're not cheering for anyone in particular. They're just cheering for cool stuff. Mm-hmm. So any goal was exciting to them. A couple of the Czech goals came very, very quickly after one another. Like the song had just ended and then they scored again. So it was a little insulting in that sense. But it's a great arena. Santa Giulia, even though it's not finished.
Right.
It was a little more finished than 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So they have been doing things because in the media rooms and the bathroom that's near the media room was much less done than it was this time around.
Oh.
Like the floor had been finished. It wasn't just like the raw cement. They had put the coating on top of it.
Wow.
So yeah, they have been working in the past 2 weeks since we have been there trying to get this Santa Giulia arena completed. The temporary seating is still there.
Oh, well, yeah.
That they have to wait until they can dismantle that whole side of the wall. But it still has a great atmosphere. It's a great place to see a hockey game. I can't argue with that.
That is good.
So yes, then I came back, couldn't scan in but it was okay because our tickets don't have QR codes.
Oh, right.
So in general, to get on the platform at Centrale, you need to have a QR code. So I just went to the nice employee and I said, Inglese? And she said, no, primissimo. So she sent me to the next person who did speak English, and I showed her my ticket. And she said, oh, here, let me let you in. So that was all fine. Everything went smoothly in my travels. I just got to see an hour of hockey
For
five plus hours of travel. Actually, more than that, because each of the way, so probably closer to 7 hours of travel altogether.
That's ridiculous. I mean, my guess, if I had to Jessica Fletcher this, would be that Train Italia said, yeah, we're going to partner with you, but we don't want to give you rush hour access.
It seems like it's all off-peak
Yes.
trains that we're
Thinking
using.
that doesn't matter. We're happy to have whatever, but it does matter,
Right.
when you can't do your job.
Right. It's fine if you're a volunteer and you're going back and forth between the cities on your days off. It's fine if you're going to be in Venice for a few days and then just going back to Milan. It's not fine if you're trying to actually do any of these commutes.
Yeah.
And at least the bus up to Cortina, I mean, it leaves at 7:30.
It's a long ride.
It's a long ride. There's
not
not much
bad.
else you could do. But they do get us there pretty early for most things.
Right. If it left at 7, that would be nicer.
And if it actually left at 7:30, that would
Yeah,
also be helpful.
That would be helpful. Oh, boy. So, scores for para ice hockey today. China beat Italy 11-1. USA beat Germany 13-0. Outshot them 41-1. And Declan Farmer, first American to reach 50 goals.
And I think he did it in the last 2 games.
Yeah,
because it was
seriously.
14-1 and now 13.
Yeah, he got a ton of stuff. So and this is 50 goals in Paralympic play alone. So good on you, Declan.
And in the Japan-Canada game, it is period 3, and it is 9-0 Canada.
Okay. And what I haven't been able to see, because I had that up for a little while, Japan has a woman on their team, one of the few women.
Yes, I don't know if she's actually hit the ice yet. I haven't been able to find that information.
All right. Wheelchair curling today, we had 2 sessions of team curling and 1 of doubles, and it was the final round robin for doubles. So with the team, we had Korea beat Great Britain 7-6. The USA beat Sweden 7-1 in 7 ends. Canada beat Latvia in 11-1 in 6 ends. Italy beat Slovakia 10-0 in 6 ends. China beat Norway 11-2 in
7 ends, because in that 7th end, China scored 5.
Wow.
So up until that point, they were still Norway was still within reach, but after a 5-shot end, there's not much you can do.
Right. Korea beat Slovakia 7-5. Sweden beat Great Britain 6-5, and Latvia beat US 8-6. So we have some standings now.
Yes, so Canada and China are 4-0. Some teams have played 4, some teams have played 5. So Sweden is 4-1. Korea is 3-2. Latvia, Slovakia, and the USA are all 2-3. Italy is 1-3. Great Britain is 1-4, and Norway is 0-4.
All right. And then in doubles, which I did get to see, Latvia beat Japan 10-4 in 7 ends. Italy beat Great Britain 11-10 in extra end. Saw a rare high five, a Berto fist pump. Italy was ahead throughout a good chunk of the match, and Great Britain came back, forcing that extra end, which was like, I looked over and went, oh, Great Britain caught up. What happened? At the end, they were blowing kisses.
Well,
to
they
the
didn't.
Italians.
Yeah, they
Yes.
didn't make the semifinals,
No.
so this would have been their last match
Exactly.
to thank the crowd, and the
course.
crowd has been with them through the whole round
Yes.
robin.
Great crowd for them. Great crowd for Japanese. Great crowd for Koreans. There were a few Chinese. Lord Dwyer's family is
By
still
themselves.
still cheering it up. That was great. Korea beat Estonia 10-0. Estonia conceded after the 6th because they realized
Shocking.
it was nothing was going to happen. And then US was playing China, and China is undefeated until today. Oh my gosh, this was amazing. And US got 4 points in the first 3 ends. And I was like, good, we're got to rack that up early because I know China can come back, and boy did they. And they tied it up in the 4th, just bam, 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 like that. And they went back and forth, and it came down to the very last stone. And it was a nail biter. It was such a good match. And this is the final round robin standings. China was 6-1. They qualified before this game. But then you had USA, Korea, and Latvia at 4-3. Great Britain at 3-4 and Japan at 3-4, and then Estonia and Italy at 2 and 5. The last two teams obviously not making it.
But that whole middle 3 and 4, 4 and 3 could have flipped very easily.
There were 16 different possibilities for the semifinals.
I can believe it.
It was crazy. And so it's China and then the 3 teams that are 4 and 3. But how do you seed them? They went to what's called the Draw Shot Challenge. And so what that is when they're doing their last stone draw ahead of the game to determine who gets the hammer, they measure how close to the center the shots are. You drop your 2 low scores, and then you calculate the average distance to the center of the house. And the lower your DSC score is, the higher ranking you have. So the USA had the best ranking in all of that. They had 89.717 centimeters, so they are ranked second. Korea is ranked third, 142.
It's a big difference.
It's a huge difference. And then Latvia had just over 150.
So this allows the United States not to have to play China in the semifinal.
That's a good thing.
So China will play Latvia and the USA will play Korea.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, what's amazing to me is that Japan didn't make it through.
I know. They were such a good team.
So sad.
That last loss flipped it the other way. But
exactly.
Korea's tough.
Korea is tough.
They are
very
a tough pair.
China's tough, so I'm in the mix zone. And Laura came around first, and we're waiting for Steve. And Steve, you can hear him talking across on the other side of the wall to the broadcast people. And then he stopped and he's talking to China TV broadcast something or other. And he's trying to learn Chinese words. They want him to say stuff in Chinese. And Laura's like, what is he doing? Go get him. and he's saying stuff in Chinese, and then he's like, what did I just say?
Don't say it, Steve, without knowing what you're saying.
But they came around. They were obviously happy, but okay. If I'm feeling bad, I just need to listen to some Steve and Laura talk. Oh my gosh.
I know. It's a good way to end your day.
Yeah, it was a great way to end the day. The breathing talk that they do, they've talked about this all throughout the competition, where they like to breathe in between ends. So they'll breathe in for 4, they'll hold it for 4, they'll exhale for 4, and then I think they rest for 4. And it's some sort of special technique, which I have on tape. I'm hoping to dig out my tape at some point soon. But that really helps them center themselves, helps them just focus on the now. And they approach every end. Once the end is over, they don't think about it. They don't think about what's coming up. They just think about what's going on right now. And they are so happy and so thrilled about everything here. Somebody asked about the village. I wake up and I see the mountains. What could be better than that? Everybody's great. Everything is fantastic. They are living it up. And Steve says, he's like, I don't remember my first Paralympics. It's all a blur. And then Beijing was a really tough one for him.
Right.
And Laura said, well, I don't want my first Paralympics to be a blur, so I need to remember all of this.
Well, the good news is that in her first Paralympics, they've made the semis.
Yes.
This is a big move. So that will be tomorrow.
Yes, which you will be at.
Which I will get myself back down the mountain in time for.
Yes. Because isn't that the middle of the day game?
It is. It's at 2:35.
Okay.
So I may miss the end of the Alpine because of the 2 races to get back down at an appropriate time to make sure I see that whole match.
Granted, they started Alpine a half an hour early, but I watched all 6 medal ceremonies and got down them and looked for the media center.
Tomorrow,
and got down the mountain.
Tomorrow, though, is the 2 race day where the second races don't start until 12:30.
Oh, forget that then. Get down to curling, man. Get yourself a seat.
Exactly.
All right. Speaking of, we do have other TKFLASTANIs, parts of members of Team Keep the Flame Alive, who are competing tomorrow.
Yes. Jake Adikoffs, Oksana Masters, Aaron Pike, and Sydney Peterson are in varying configurations of the sprint classic races tomorrow of cross-country skiing. And then Team USA and all our various and sundry players there will face China in para ice hockey. Oh, maybe finally that won't be a blowout. That'll be an interesting game.
Hoping. I'll go and see a portion of it.
A portion of it.
And then I'll be enjoying the countryside of Italy for 5 hours.
It's a nice train ride. And I didn't get a little sandwich this time. I got peanuts and cookies.
That's interesting.
So a little variation and no Prosecco. Okay.
So they do, on the class that we get, they have service on the train, and you get it once because they do come down and come by. And the first time I took the train, they're like, no, you had service before. So they've got a beverage cart, and they give you snacks and a little hand wipe. So I've gotten various forms of, sometimes it's 2 sandwiches, sometimes it's 2 things of cookie or cracker. And it's different every time. Sometimes they have Prosecco or wine in the beverage cart.
Surprise!
Right? Always a surprise. Always a good time. But I'm excited to see Milan again.
It's beautiful. It's still beautiful.
And I want to go back if there's time. There's not going to be time. But not that far from Centrale is 2 apartment buildings that are towers that are like covered in trees. And you could I went and saw them because I wanted to take a picture, and you could tell that when the leaves were coming out, it was going to be stunning, but it looked pretty bad.
Barren.
Bad in gray winter. So looking forward to that and seeing everything that Milan has to offer. Like we saw when we were talking to people we were trading pins with yesterday, they said, oh, Cortina's beautiful, but Milan is cool.
I think that's a perfect description of the 2.
Yes. So, and we have shout outs today.
We do. So first up is Patrick Riley in Dallas, and he wished us good luck to you both, and thanks for the ground reports and vacuum stories we all love.
Special to Patrick, who I saw had posted, he tried to get the cauldron, the 1956 cauldron in pictures, but it's behind fencing. I was able to get it because you can see it pretty well in the area we have to go in behind from when we go to the media center or to the mix zone out to the street.
Wait.
In curling.
It's
at the curling. Yes.
Oh, it's in curling.
It's at the curling stadium outside, but it's kind of by some toilets, and it's behind fencing, and that's wrapped. Of course it's by toilets. Where else would it be?
Where else would you put a historic cauldron?
Or where else would you put toilets?
That's true.
So I did look for that today, found it, and was able to take a nice picture through the fence. So I will be posting that up.
Excellent.
Well. And Patrick Hallgren from the USA, who is in Para Alpine, all events, and won the silver medal today, as we said. And he has also competed in 2022. So you've got someone to cheer for, Patrick.
Next up is Max in Seattle.
Like Max Nelson from the USA, who is a para Nordic skier, skis cross country, was in 2022. He will be racing in the Sprint Classic, 10K and 20K in the visually impaired class here at Milano Cortina.
And last up is Ma Jarris.
Thank you, Mom. And there's no Jarris, but there's a Natalia Jaros from Poland.
Pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close. It's Jarosz. So
it's got the Z.
Yes.
It's got the Z. The Z is the key there.
Yeah. So she's in para snowboard and is doing both events. So thank you, Ma. I know you're not listening, but if you were and you decided to try to figure out YouTube, you could watch her compete in the bank slalom. Could you see my mother on a snowboard?
I could. Jill, why are you making me do this? Whose idea was this, honey?
All right, and we have a mascot.
Yes, Riza Hawkeye from Book Club Claire. So thank you very much, Book Club Claire, for sharing gorgeous Riza with us. Her picture will be in the newsletter coming out tonight. And thank you, Claire, for helping us with everything that you do for the show and for supporting the fundraiser.
Yes, thank you so much. And that is going to do it for this episode. If you would like, I can't even read my own script with a straight face.
If you want more of us,
if you want the most fun coverage of the games, hit us up. We're at flamealivepod.com. That is your source for our socials, newsletter, and direct ways to contact us. be in our Facebook group for sure. That's where we're posting things first, and we're chatting with people. And our Patreon people are still getting photos and sometimes videos. I hit my limit on data.
Nice.
So now I'm not making videos on the buses. So we gotta get Wi-Fi on the train tomorrow.
There
so
you go.
All right, be sure to tune in tomorrow for what we forgot to tell you about today. Grazie mille por l'ascolto.
And until next time, ciao and keep the flame alive.